Hello everyone and welcome to Viz RT Tuesday Tutorials. My name is Richard Evans. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today I'd like to take a look at how to customize and position pie charts using Viz Virtual Studio Go. Now, Virtual Studio Go allows you to create augmented reality graphics for things like presentations and embed them into your video feed, allowing your viewers to stay connected with your on-screen talent and allowing for moving camera positions, dynamic lighting, a whole bunch of cool stuff. So, let me show you how it's done, son. All right, so I am in the Viz Virtual Studio Go interface here. So what we have is I am on the tab for my pie chart that we'll be getting to here in a second. But I also want to show you a few different things. So you see the output of what Viz Virtual Studio Go is using right now is down here in the bottom right, which is where I am. And there's a couple different ways you can get to some camera controls. So I have some positioning tools within here, so I can zoom in, zoom out, etc. And let me just put this back to this shot. So I want to store this into number 1. So whenever I want to recall this specific position, I can just simply click on number 1 here to do that. Or I can also go through onto my presets. I can make different camera presets up here at the very top, which you can do within this camera control option and just basically put a heart next to it if you have data in there, that is. Okay, so I have these ones set up here. So let me go back to my pie chart. So if I also do the same thing up here as far as I click on camera preset number 2, there we go. I have that executed here. So you have 2 different places to do that, either in the bottom right on the preview window for this or on your presets. Okay, so now let's take a look at how we can modify a pie chart. So let me go ahead and back my camera up to my preset number 2 and bring on this. Ta-da! Hey, my pie chart. And we're going to be talking about flavors of pie. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first thing on the menu, which is the color on here. So if I click on the color that I have currently selected, which is pink, I can go through and modify colors and put anything I want in there. So if I want to make that white, you'll see that that changes the rings on the outside and inside of the graph. Okay, and then same thing on the different pieces of data in here. If I want to change those colors, simply click on this drop down and I have a couple of different options here. So let's make chocolate actually look like a chocolate color here. Yeah, something like milk chocolate. It's kind of orange, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Let's do that. Cool. All right. So you can change the colors on each part of the pie chart as well coming in here. Now, I do want to mention that obviously if you actually title up these numbers, they don't come out to 100, but that's okay. It's just basically going to modify these and change them around graphically to make a complete pie chart. So it doesn't have to be 100. So one thing I also want to show you is that it will modify these in real time. So let's say cherry. Let's crank that bad boy up to 200, like so. Boom. And then that will modify your pie chart on here. But that's too many pies. I can't eat that many. Okay, so we'll do it as that. All right, now next thing I want to mention is the chart title, which you'll see right here at the bottom here. So that's our flavors. That's the title that we have here. And I got way too many exclamation points. So let's just modify that and get all of those out of there like so. And updated. Boom. Cool. And then within each parts of your data stream, you can change, what that's going to be just simply by typing it. But also want to show you on the prefix side of things, depending on what kind of data you have in there, you can add a prefix to that data. So we'll just say how many space. And if we just click away from it, update, you'll see that that will change the graphic that we have here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And we can do the same thing on the postfix as well. So put in pies like that. And there you go. Awesome. Okay. And then also, if you have data in here that requires you to have some decimal places, you can go all the way up to 3 decimal places like so, depending on what kind of data you want to have in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and leave that the way it is. Also, what we can do here, let's say that we want to get rid of cherry pie. It's out of the equation. I can simply select cherry and get rid of both the text and the value, and now we are left simply with these 3 in here, okay? So you can go up to 8 on here, and then you can start to modify these and get rid of them, but always make sure you're going down the list with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to the bottom, okay? So 9 total that we have here. So let's go ahead also and take a look at some of the positioning tools that we have available to us here. So right now, if I want to like recenter this graphic, what I can do is I hit center position here, like so. Well, I already have it centered because of my shot. But let's say I move it over a little bit, like let's scoot it way over here and say, that's too far. If I hit center position, boom, back to where I want it. All right, cool. And then the distance modifiers, if we play around with that, you'll see that that will make it grow. Actually, it doesn't necessarily affect the scale of this. That's going to be over here on the scaling side. This is going to help modify the shadows when we have these in here, so if you can see them. So that's just going to be the distance actually virtually from the camera on here. Now, I don't have a super wide shot that I can show everything in the shadows and everything, but that just gives you an idea as far as the distance is concerned. And the height, that will allow you to move this up and down like so. And then your left and right positions are right here on the slider, so you can scoot it over however much you want. Okay, now we can also rotate it like so. So you want to see all the way around the graph, we can do that, which is pretty cool. All right, and I'm going to leave it like this for a quick second because I want to show you the next part, which is the tilt. So if I go ahead and tilt this graphic, you'll see now that I can move this around and I can see the flavors menu, etc. So just to give you a graphic interpretation of what that does. All right, but let's go ahead and put that back where I want it to be. So now I can see everything perfectly. So what's cool about this is since I showed you those camera presets as well, if I trigger those presets, you'll see that it modifies where the positioning of this is based on the camera itself. So if I go and click on camera preset number 1, you'll see it'll zoom in and then also scale that graphic accordingly. And if I go back, same thing. So pretty dang awesome. All right, so this is the pie chart side of things. Pretty simple, but very cool to add different stuff in here. All right, so I have this one chart on screen, but let's say that you have multiple pieces of data that you want to be showing inside of your production. So instead of having to go through, take this off screen, then add up a whole other different data set in there, you can create multiples in here. So let's take a look at how to do that. Back on the interface, what I can do is just go to this AR pie chart at here, and then just right-click on it and say duplicate, and then move this wherever I want to on screen. And now I have 2 of them in there. So let me go ahead and get this one off screen right now. All right, and let's go ahead and modify what I currently have in here and change the colors around just so you can see that this is a little bit different. We'll make these, why did I select the same color? That's not going to work. All right. Let's do pink on that and gray. All right. Change the values around. All right. So now if I go 200 on this, check it out. So now I could cycle between these different ones here. So now I have this one pie chart that's over here on the right side of my interface, or I can go to the other one. Now I don't necessarily have to take it off screen. I can take it off screen simply by clicking on this red button, but let's go ahead and bring it back on, and I'll show you that I can simply bring this one off and the other one on by toggling the other pie chart that I have, simply by clicking on the green button like so, and it'll animate the other one on. So boom, super cool. So a lot of cool things you can do with this. I highly recommend checking it out, and of course, have some fun. There you have it, another cool way to enhance your show with Virtual Studio Go. Now, for more tutorial videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to the VizRT YouTube channel at youtube.com/VizRTofficial. And for formalized VizRT product training, you can sign up for Viz University, available at vizrt.com/community/viz-university. And you can find even more information about VizRT products and services by contacting your local VizRT partner, or you can check out our website, vizrt.com. And as always, if you are posting your work using VizRT products on social media, make sure that you tag us using the hashtags VizRT, TriCaster, or Virtual Studio Go. We see all of your posts, love what you're working on, keep up the great work, And thank you for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another episode of Viz RT Tuesday Tutorials.